Welcome back to the Gentleman's Gazette. Today's video is all about glove leathers and linings, so you find the one that's best for you. First, let's talk about cowhide and bison hide. Cowhide is very common for leather goods, however not so much for gloves because it's not a flexible leather. But for your hands, when you move, you want things to be flexible, and therefore it's very hard to find. I'm wearing a pair of bison gloves here right now, and I can tell it's a thicker leather, it's hard wearing, and it's good for work gloves, but maybe not the best choice for formal dress gloves. The next leather is deerskin. Deerskin leather is very popular with gloves because it's softer, but also durable. And as you can see here, if it's thin, it makes for a very elegant glove. If you want to learn more about glove details, please check out this video. Generally, deerskin is popular with outdoorsy folks, and it's also used for work gloves. It's a good in-between glove that you can get relatively easily. Goatskin is another leather that is widely used simply because it is inexpensive. The problem of goatskin is it's cheap and it wrinkles easily, and it's just not a very beautiful glove leather. So if you can, avoid goatskin leathers. On the other hand, lamb Nappa is one of the best glove leathers because it's extremely flexible, so it feels very comfortable when you wear it, and it's also really soft. It ages quite well, it gets sophisticated wrinkles and a patina that is really nice to look at. For that reason, we use finest Italian lamb Nappa leather for our Fort Belvedere gloves. Another popular leather is the so-called Hairsheep leather. Hairsheep is often confused with lamb Nappa. They're very similar. Some people say the Hairsheep is a little more durable. At the same time, it's also not as soft as lamb Nappa. It's a great glove leather, and you can use it, buy it. Personally, I prefer lamb Nappa, but each to his own. Another leather you sometimes find in gloves is sheepskin leather or shearling leather. It's a little stiffer, and with a shearling, it definitely keeps you warm, but it's just for a cold winter, not for dress gloves. They simply look too bulky and are not elegant enough to wear with an overcoat. Maybe if you live in the woods or if you're an outdoorsman, it's a viable option. Otherwise, personally, I'd stay away from shearling. The king of all glove leathers is a so-called Peccary leather. Peccary comes from a South African mammal. Sometimes people refer to it as a wild boar, but in fact it's more closely related to the javelina, and it's its own species. Peccary leather, as you can see here, has a beautiful texture. It has these three prongs that are very unique to it, and it's a very soft leather. The longer you wear it, the softer it gets. At the same time, it's extremely durable, and a Peccary glove will last 20 years for sure if you take care of them. For example, I've had this pair of Peccary leather gloves for over 10 years. I once forgot them in the snow. They were laying outside for at least 24 hours in the snow with salt. I was able to wash them afterwards, and they're beautifully soft and have this nice look and patina. Honestly, every gentleman should have a pair of Peccary gloves, and at Fort Belvedere we offer only the very best skins from Peru, which are very expensive, but we think they're worth it. What's really important to understand about Peccary is that it is a wild animal. As such, they scratch their skin, and when they get shot, you have little marks. So Peccary is, unlike other leathers, it will have some blemishes. We leave it completely untreated in the original way, so it's the softest you can get, but there will always be some variations. But that just adds to the character and the patina of this wonderful glove. People often confuse Peccary leather with Carpincho leather. Carpincho has a slightly suede texture, has also a characteristic prong, but it's not quite as high quality as the Peccary leather. It also comes from South America and is often falsely labeled as Peccary, so definitely watch out when you see something that looks a little bolder in a pattern, like this. This is a Carpincho leather. It's less expensive and not as durable and not as soft. Sometimes you also find gloves in pigskin leather. Pigskin is basically a poor man's peccary, and it's just inferior in every aspect: durability, softness, patina. So if you can, get a pair of peccary gloves and treat yourself to the best thing around in the glove world. For winter gloves, you definitely want a lined glove. Now, if you go on an Arctic exhibition, you will need different gloves. Today we have modern fibers, fleece in various thicknesses, and you can get that kind of stuff. If you're a motorcycler, you need special motorcycle gloves, not men's dress gloves. For men's dress gloves, a unusual but excellent lining is alpaca. Alpaca comes from Peru for the most part. You'll also find it in other areas of the world, but the best quality comes from Peru. It's best because it's very fine, which means it's very soft to the touch, and naturally there is an air chamber inside the hair which acts as an insulator. Therefore, alpaca lining is warmer than a wool lining or a cashmere lining. We offer all of our Fort Belvedere Peccary gloves with alpaca lining because both things come from Peru. It makes sense to combine them together. Probably one of the more popular linings is cashmere lining. Cashmere comes from the cashmere goat. It's a very soft lining, and therefore it's very popular. It's about as warm as wool, not as warm as alpaca, but overall a very common glove lining. And at Fort Belvedere, we choose to use kind of a nude lining, so if there are any knobs, you will never see fuzz on your hand. It will always look natural and good. Wool linings are also very popular. It's just a less expensive option compared to alpaca or cashmere. So if you can, either get alpaca or cashmere because they're simply better. They're either softer or warmer, and wool is just less expensive. Silk linings are used for evening gloves or very fine gloves. It just helps you to get into the glove more easily. At the same time, they are not really insulating. Many gloves you find in big box stores or places like Macy's and department stores oftentimes come with a blended lining of either polyester. Sometimes they use fleece, which is also some kind of polyester. And overall, I do not recommend them. Just like with suits, natural fibers are desirable because they have really great properties. And if you want a glove, if you go to Alaska, well, get a total functional glove. But if you want dress gloves, stick with natural fibers.